So the country will let an American or European company in, and the American affiliate will then borrow money from a U.S. bank or perhaps a consortium with European banks, and they'll borrow the money to invest, and they will essentially not pay taxes to the host country government because they'll pretend to borrow the money from a wholly owned affiliate offshore in a country that doesn't have any income tax. So essentially, the government is starved for money, and the International Monetary Fund and the World Bank will encourage countries to develop exports that, for instance, plantation exports and tropical agricultural products that don't compete with American products, basically, not growing their own food. You'll have the IMF and the World Bank encouraging a debt profile that ends up where countries have to borrow more and more money to maintain their foreign exchange rate. And the IMF will subsidize a country going fastest to ruin, as Adam Smith would say. They'll keep lending the money as long as they follow policies that enrich American corporations in their countries or that help the kind of world specialization of labor that American economic strategists want to see. So the countries have to go further and further into debt. They have to borrow more and more money from bondholders. And you're seeing that in Argentina so heavily that it really can't have its own industry. It can't have its own independent agriculture. And all the debt is borrowed in U.S. dollars to maintain the ability to repay the bondholders. That's basically the countries are kept afloat until finally they're about to go under. And that's when the IMF will talk to the oligarchs and say, well, we can't really make any more loans to them. Move your money out now. We're going to lend enough money to Argentina or Chile or other countries to support the currency. Move your money out of local currency into dollars as quick as you can. And then we'll pull the plug and we'll let the currency collapse. And of course, then because we know that you're going to be voted out of power by a socialist group. And then they'll say, look at how the economy's collapsing. It can't pay the debts because we're not lending it any money. Like we only lend money to right-wing neo-fascist governments. And if you're not a fascist, you don't get the money. That's Janet Yellen's basic principle. If you don't have an oligarchy, you're not getting the money. If you try land reform, we'll do to you what we did to Guatemala. You don't get any money, you get regime change. But they essentially squeeze them until finally people are so desperate they vote for a nutcase like Mr. Milei in Argentina, who'll just say, well, to hell with it. Let's just adopt the U.S. dollar itself. Let's go back to using dollars, because then the wealthy people won't lose any money at all. For you people, the 99%, it doesn't matter because you don't have any savings anyway. But we want to dollarize so we don't even have to worry about foreign exchange rates. The country's completely a basket case. Before World War I, everybody thought Argentina was going to end up the richest country in the world. It had everything: a great environment, rich land, herds of cattle, seemed to have everything. But it also had this truly parasitic ruling class, and it was fascist before there was fascism, and it's always had a stranglehold in Argentina. And Argentina is a case where there's no solution to the economic problem in the existing structure of the economy and society. It would require a Maoist revolution to clean out this oligarchy and somehow enable Argentina to use its land, its oil, its raw materials, its mineral rights, all for the economy at large.